couldn't reach it. Lavington have the chance. It comes back to Baines. His wobbly old kick goes up towards the front line of attack. Wodonga can't keep it in play. It goes out of bounds about 25 metres around from the Lavington goal.
There's one player that Salinger for Wodonga has not had a good game.
No, as I said, I think Lavington's last line of defence has been excellent, actually. Stan Lake, Jones and young Brown has played. The three of them have been very, very, not outstanding players, but very workmanlike players. And Brown especially has done a magnificent job.
Well, that was a minor score there to the Lavington side, and the big kick out has been marked strongly by Murphy. It's been harassed here by Hamilton, but Murphy was able to get the ball across here to Greenhill as his kick goes down now towards the centre half forward position for the Wodonga team, but strong in defence again here was Holmes for Lavington. His handball is across there to Brown. There's the ball falling to Garvey, it looks like, as he gets a handball across to Greenhill. There's Greenhill's left footer going down, but there's nobody there but Bear Allen coming through strongly, but the marker Holmes again for Lavington takes it very strong in defence. So once again Wodonga kicking the ball high and long and hoping for the best. They certainly haven't got that avenue to the forward line to convert their opportunities at this stage, and that's why they've got 5-15 on the board, playing 8 goals 11. So here's the ball now picked up by Wilson, best player on the ground in my book, as he gets it across to Neville Shaw. Neville Shaw's kick has found McGuirk, another tall timbered player for the Lavington side who's done very, very well. He goes for the big bomb. It's a floater going down towards Murphy. Mack is under it there. There's Wallace, who will probably force this ball out if he can, and his handball will go out of bounds and a throw-in will take place. So Wodonga under pressure once again here in the early moments of the Ovens and Murray League Grand Final into this final quarter. It's 59 plays 45. So here's a chance for Lavington. Big McGuirk gets the knockout, but it falls into the Wodonga players. There's a scrimmage of players there, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball.
A ball up in Lavington's forward line. I think it'll be McGuirk to take the tap out for Lavington. The ball's about 30 metres out from Lavington's goal. They'll be keen to get a goal here. Murphy punches it towards the line, and it will be a boundary throw-in again in a similar position to just before. And Lavington still hold a 14-point lead. We're almost at the 4-minute mark of this final term in the Ovens and Murray Grand Final. There's the throw-in. It's McGuirk against Murphy. Murphy wins the tap-out, but it's play on. Now Grecian leading in the race for the ball, but it's picked up by Wodonga. Lamont now. Lamont shrugs the tackle. No, he doesn't. He gets caught, but gets the handball away. It's picked up by Killeen, picked up by Hamilton. Now the captain coach goes to half forward. There's Pivot standing in the way. He gets caught. Now it's a kick for goal by Barr, but it's just offline and goes, well, fairly much offline actually, and goes out of bounds on the full.
So good piece of umpiring there, boys. Pivot ducked his head and the umpire called play on.
Now it's a Wodonga free kick right next to the Lavington goals. They go out towards the outer wing. Players set themselves. Wilson in front. Almost took the mark, but it's punched forward well by Lambourne. Cordy leading in the race for the ball. Well bumped by Grecian. It'll be another boundary throw-in on the club room's wing.
Well, Nick, this first goal in this final term is going to be very, very important indeed. With Lavington leading at this stage, 59-45, so Wodonga will certainly be looking for this first major. They're trying very, very hard indeed as the ball comes across here and forcing his way through the pack. It looked like Boxer McGee wasn't able to get the run of the ball, and Lavington trying to hold the ball up here, and the umpire will have to come in and bounce the ball. It's just off the centre of the ground here at the Albury Sports Oval, and Wodonga, they've got big Bear Allen out there on Stanlake at full forward. Down in the goal mouth is Garvey and also Salinger. So
I think the play that has thrown you out a little bit, I think, Gavin, is that Crothers looks to me to be off the ground, and that's why Murphy's on the ball, and their 3 big guys are down in the forward line.
Right, well, Lavington have been pretty strong in defence all day, and there's Lamont clearing the ball for them, but it'll fall into the hands of Murphy. Murphy will get the handball across to Boxer McGee if the ball will prop for him, as it does. Boxer on the right foot there. Going down towards the forward line. Salinger traps the ball well, has a shot for goal. Let's have a look now. Big Bear Allen should take the mark. No, he can't do so. He's just bustled down at the last moment there by Schultz, and it'll go through for a minor score. But they're the sort of marks Big Bear's got to get.
As I said earlier, Gavin, he's got to take those marks, and that's why I'm a bit concerned that that Murphy may have been able to take that mark, and I'm a bit surprised that Allen's still on the ground, because I thought Crothers, if he is off the ground, it doesn't look as though he's on the ground, was doing a lot of work around the ground.
Well, Wodonga's got the chance now to kick towards goal. It's Allen. He might make amends for the missed mark.
And he has. Well done, Brett.
Great play, Brett Allen. Well, he missed that mark before. Would have had a shot from 3 metres out of point-blank range, kick, and Wodonga go on to 6 goals 16, still trailing Lavington 8-11. But watch this goal from Allen. It was a great goal. He was on the run and on a very hard angle too, Merv.
Sure, as I said, it was a good goal by Bear, and he's made me eat my words, but we should be taking those big marks down there. That was just an opportunity goal, and I think they're looking for more out of Bear.
Ball back in the centre now with umpire Shane McDonald from the AFL. It'll be Murphy in the ruck now against Wilson. Wilson's come up from the back line. Wilson wins the tap out too. It's a good punch. Umpire gets in the road, but it's Pivot in front. Oh, he gets bumped off the ball. Play on. Now it's Greenhill. Good handball by Greenhill to McGee. Gary McGee kicks to half forward. Oh, well, they could have really set up another goal there with Wodonga, but it was Stanlake standing in the way for the Blues. Now Stanlake goes towards the clubroom side, and it's a good mark to Grecian. Grecian dodges 2 players, gets around Burgess, has a bounce. Now he gets the late kick in, the left foot kick towards the centre of the ground. Oh, great mark. Spectacular mark there from Stevens. And he puts the Bulldogs into attack yet again towards half forward. Oh, could have been a free kick there. No, says the umpire. Now it's Burgess. Burgess from 35 has pushed it across the face of goals, goes left, and that'll be another behind to Wodonga. They move on to 6 goals 17, 53, trailing Lavington by 1 straight kick, 8-11, 59.
They're the goals that must be kicked. Now, that was a bad shot for goal there by Burgess. You've got to crunch those ones if you want to win premierships.
Wodonga chipping away, though, and they're only 6 points down now, so it's anybody's grand final. Into this last quarter, we've gone about 8 minutes. 1 goal the difference, and there's the handball across to Schultz for the Lavington side, and flying from behind but couldn't do it was Grecian, so it'll be cleared here by Nichols from the Wodonga defence across here to Pevitt. Pevitt now has got someone down there. It's Boxer McGee, but it's a bad kick, and it'll go out of bounds. No, keeping the ball in well was Gleeson, and now it's Hamilton to come back and pick it up. So Wodonga had their chances there, but Hamilton's able to clear the ball, but a badly directed kick falling to Stevens. Stevens gets a lead here from Cordy, who's gone down into the forward line.
Well, I think Jeff Gessing's heard me. Crothers has just come back on the ground. Sellinger's gone off, and Murphy's gone to full forward.
Right, well, there's Cordy kicking the ball down and getting the lead this time. Let's have a look at could be Garvey. No mark is paid, and it's kicked up a big bomb down here into the forward line. Big Bear is under it, but picked up well by Schultz in defence. 1 goal the difference in the O&M Grand Final. What a great finish to this big one, as a mark is just about taken by Flanagan for Wodonga, but a handball across here to Pevitt. Pevitt swings across onto the left foot. Who's he looking for? Gleeson's got the run of the ball, but pretty slow running towards it. Neville Shaw's caught him pretty strongly. It come across here to Alberts, trying to force himself through, and this looks like Greenhill shooting for goal from a long way out. Here's a go for Wodonga, but it'll be off direction and only a minor score. So they've certainly kicked very badly today, Wodonga. That's 6-18, 54 to 8-11, 59, but it's been all Wodonga basically since half-time.
9.5 minutes gone in this final term. Lavington really need to get this ball quickly up into the forward line, and perhaps a goal as well, as that mark's taken by Lappin. Lappin had a quiet third quarter, but did well in the first half. He goes the right foot kick, still keeping it to this grandstand side wing. Crothers from behind, just come back onto the ground. Yes, he's been paid the mark. Prendergast tried to take off with that ball. If he's not careful, it may be 50 metres. Crothers now plays on. Easy handball to Pivot. Pivot in the centre of the ground. Kicks towards Allen, looking for Allen in front, but Murphy from the middle of the pack can't take the mark. Brown forces it out for Lavington. Now it comes to Burgess. It's kicked forward for Wodonga. It might be across the face of goals. It is. And a diving attempt there by Holmes. Couldn't quite keep the ball in play. Another boundary throw in, this time right next to the Wodonga point post.
Well, this is certainly anybody's game, isn't it? I mean, 5 points of difference. We're gone 10 minutes of the last quarter, and once again, Wodonga are doing all the attacking.
And again, the ball's forced out of bounds.
What's happened to Lavington's little blokes, Merv?
I think they look very tired, actually. Albers has gone out of the game. Hamilton's certainly gone out of the game. Pevitt's doing an excellent job on him. And he's Shaw, one of the very few players that are keeping him in the game.
Lamont's also gone out of the game. It's a kick to goal.
Gleeson.
Great goal to Gleeson. That's just what they wanted. And scores Wodonga's taken a 1-point lead. They've gone on to 7-18-60, leading Lavington by 1 point, 8-11-59. And do you think that might spark them into action even more, Merv?
Well, as I said earlier, Murphy to full forward. This has been a great snap for goal by Gleeson. A lot of experience of this player. Made the most of his opportunities, snapped on the ball, and a great goal. But the player I reckon that's revitalised Wodonga is Terry Burgess. He's brought other players into the game, and he's really got them going. And this other player too in Butch Greenhill.
And also Boxer McGee too, Merv. He's played very well since half-time. and player's been caught there, but the umpire says, not for mine, thank you, and we'll take a bounce. And, of course, that was Pendergast. He might have been a bit lucky, but...
Wodonga supporters not very happy about that.
No, well, Wodonga supporters can sniff victory now. They've been behind in most of this game, but they're 1 point in front now, and we've played 11 and a half minutes into this final term. So there's still plenty of football in this game, as Big Wilson, who's been a top player for the Lavington side, goes back now. He's got a lead out here, and an unmarked player, but Boxer McGee coming in at the last moment, but a strong mark has been taken here by Lappin. Across to Pendergast, has worked very hard for Lavington today, and been smothered very well by Greenhill, but away again by Lavington, and will be marked by Flanagan in defence, and he'll hold up play.
Gee, Greenhill's played a great second half of football, and he's actually given a heck of a lot of drive out the centre.
Right, well, there's the ball now on the centre wing in front of this very big crowd at the Albury Sports Oval, and a free kick to Robbie West, and that gives Wodonga another chance to put the ball into their attacking zone. They lead by 1 point in the Ovens and Murray League Grand Final. And there's West kick. He got a lead here from Murphy, and also it's Cordy who takes a mark. Yeah, Cordy in the forward line. He gets a lead out here by Big Bear Allen, gives a shove at the last moment, but no free kick, and Stanley comes across well to clear the ball. Picked up by Colleen. Lappin gives him the handball. He's under pressure though, and he's fallen over here, and it could fall for Wodonga. No, it's trapped by the Lavington player, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball.
Good decision.
I always thought it was holding the ball, but
good decision. He was stretching for the ball and trying to get it out.
That's right.
Right, well, the bounce of the ball now on the half-forward line for the Wodonga side, and getting the knockout was Big Bear Allen. Flanagan trying to pick the ball up. There's another scrimmage of players here as Lamont's going in very hard for the Lavington side. It's cleared, and again to Gleeson. Gleeson's shot is off the side of the boot, going out towards the boundary line, and probably will run out in front of the scoreboard, which sees that Wodonga lead by 1 point in the O&M Grand Final. And what a beauty we've got on our hands now. What a great finish before this very, very strong crowd as the boundary umpire throws the ball in. There's the bounce of the ball going to Neville Shaw. A little kick out to Hamilton. That was a smart move as he gets it across to Schultz and across here to Lamont. Lamont's onto the left foot now. Lamont gets a lead from Big Ray Mack. Ray Mack gets onto the left foot. He's certainly got an injury, but did it well there. There's a chance for the running ball as Baines and also Nichols are on there. Nichols picks it up and decides, well, I think I'll put it through for a minor score. But that evens the situation up. It's 60 points all.
Well, 5 shots to 2 again, as we mentioned a while ago, and 2 rush points there for Lavington, and they've got to make the most of their opportunities now when they go into attack.
14 minutes gone in this fourth quarter, final quarter of the Ovens and Murray Grand Final for 1990. Wodonga's got the run of the ball. It's Greenhill again. He's had an outstanding last quarter. Greenhill has 2 bounces. Now he ducks and weaves, selects to go backwards, put his player under a bit of pressure, but he recovers well. Oh, nearly Lavington mark there. Yes, it's Colleen. He gets caught with the ball, but just gets rid of it. Leading there is Shaw and Lambourne. Lambourne's first to the ball. He gets caught. Dispossessed still. The ball hits ground level. Pendergast in his 280th match can't take it. And it'll be a ball up at half forward for Wodonga, and they're looking to go a goal ahead.
Gee, why didn't he put that in the square? He had Garvey and Murphy both 2-1 in the square, and he elected to kick the ball short, and I referring to Lambourne.
Certainly put your forwards under pressure when you do that. You go short at half forward. McGuirk wins a tap out. Shaw's dispossessed, and McGuirk goes for the safety of the boundary line, about 70 metres around, or virtually at half forward for Wodonga.
Survival of the fittest.
Definitely.
A few very tired players out there at the minute. Lamont's gone out of the game a little, so's Albers, but this time it'll be McGuirk and Allen in the ruck. No clear tap out, but it's Greenhill again. He's been everywhere in this last quarter, but it comes to Stanlake. Ineffective kick. Now Stanlake goes towards the centre. It's over the head of all players. It's leading in the race for the ball there is Crothers. He gets almost gets bundled out of it by his own player. Now he can't get rid of it. Cordy can't get rid of it. Now it's Mack. Mack, the handball over the top. Elba's leading in the race for the ball, but it's Pevitt. Pevitt does the better. He's keeping the ball in front of him. Good play, Pevitt. Now he gets rid of it. Grimman taps on, and it's a chance for Boxer McGee to clear for the Bulldogs. He does just that. And it's Wodonga still in possession, kicking towards half forward, looking for Greenhill. Greenhill's probably had 10 touches in the last 5 minutes. He's been a great player. 16 minutes gone in this last quarter. He kicks towards half forward. Murphy. Burgess, 40.
Just what the man, he set them alight.
Well, you can hear the crowd going absolutely wild. The Wodonga supporters as they take a 6-point lead, and Terry Burgess, who a lot of people thought shouldn't have been in this Wodonga side, but will he kick the winning goal? So you see Terry Burgess, a very experienced footballer, and it was a very good goal indeed.
Well, I watched Burgess read this ball off the pack. I thought he was a chance because the Lavington defence was more intent on punching the ball away from Murphy. 2 players against Murphy, and Burgess read it magnificently, and they're the goals that win grand finals.
Goal of an experienced player, Murphy.
8 goals, 18-66 Wodonga, 8-12-60 Lavington. We've played 16.5 minutes into this final term. Who will be the victorious side in the O&M for 1990? It's still anybody's game, only a goal the difference, but a very handy goal indeed to the Wodonga combination, who are fighting very hard indeed. Here's Gleeson, a star for them in the finals. A long kick down towards the forward line. Big Murphy gets under it, nearly took the mark. Burgess again, and he's done it again. Terry Burgess. Well, he'll certainly be the hero of the Wodonga Township tonight if they can take out this grand final. And another great goal, Merv.
It's Burgess' experience. As I mentioned a while ago, he's a former Ovens and Murray and Morris medalist. He's a former Myrtleford coach, and he's just reading the ball so well. And when he's not reading the ball so well, he's making position up forward. Straight
off the pack, he was at the fall of the ball every time. Great play by Burgess. Now the ball's back in the centre. We've really got a game on our hands, but it's Wodonga who's taken the upper hand. It's punched away by McGuirk for Lavington, but no one's there for them now. Elbers keeps it in front of him. It's play on. Elbers again. Well done, Elbers. He gets possession, but he's caught. What's the umpire said? It'll be a ball up. Well, Wallace had hold of Elbers there, but he didn't really get much of a chance to get rid of it. And it will be a ball up almost at centre-half forward for the Lavington side. Well, they need a goal desperately. They're trailing by 2 majors. If they don't get one soon, we're now at the 18-minute mark. They could be in real trouble. The umpire elects to come in and ball it up again at half forward. We've mentioned
the name many times before, but Joe Greenhill since half time has been absolutely magnificent. He was on the bottom of that pack again there.
It's been sensational.
Right, well, there's the knockout, and we see Wodonga in attack again here through the agency. It looked like Lambourne, who's forcing the ball out, and will roll out on the centre wing here as West and the Lavington player run towards the ball, and of course that was Lappin. What's happening here is the crowd is certainly cheering Wodonga on. That's what's happening as Wodonga lead by 2 goals now, and have got a big chance to win this premiership. There's a flick out by Hamilton to Elbers. Elbers gets the lead out here from the Lavington player, but a great mark in defence, but he's given it the other way for holding on. That could have been there as well. So we'll see this Lavington player in Holmes now, who's come up there onto the half-forward line. He's 50 metres out. It'll take a big kick, but he can get onto it. It could be a very interesting one indeed. So
Brown off, Mansell on, and who's got a heavily strapped knee too.
There's the kick. It is a beautiful kick, but it'll just be off direction, I would think, and 1 point will be the score. Yes, so 11 points the difference now. So Lavington still have time. They've got about 10 or 11 minutes to get those couple of goals that they need. But Wodonga now with that very handy break, and they've played very well since half time. They've chipped away and done their job excellently. As a strong mark is taken here, and a handball to Box, and McGee has been a great player since half time. Down towards McKenna. McKenna now shepherded out well by Gleeson there for McKenna to come in and take that mark. There's the quick kick going down to Bear Allen. Can't do so. It'll come out here to McGuirk. McGuirk gets the handball out to Stanlake. Stanlake's kick is astray. Albers is looking very tired as he runs towards that ball. That's not surprising. He's done a lot of work. He's pushed in the back, but no free kick. Stevens has got the ball. He'll get a little one across to Burgess
great
here.
Play, Burgess.
And that was great. Yes, great play, Murph, because he certainly made that option.
He anticipated that extremely well.
He made the option there for Stevens to kick the ball to him, and that's been the steadying influence for Wodonga. Very experienced player, and so he certainly made a few people eat their words with his selection. But Burgess now, he's a long way out from goal. He can get onto him for a little fella, but I think you'll be looking for one of the taller players to take a mark here as Wodonga lead by 11 points. Number 8 for Wodonga. It's a beautiful torpedo too, right down into the forward line, and a great mark is being taken by Murphy. Well, there it was. We picked it that the big tall player might take the mark down there, and Big Murphy, he's going to take his time too. He's on a bit of an angle, so he's not the most reliable as kick for goal. But we'll wait and see. What odds do you give me, Merv, that he can kick this one?
I'll have 2 little shillings with you. He pops it right through the middle.
2 little shillings. Righto. Number 26 for the Wodonga combination. This could be the most vital goal of the 1990 season as he comes in now to kick for the goal, and he's hit the post. Well, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, I'll give you 2 big shillings.
Yeah, it looks like 2 shillings might be worth a bit these days too, but it's certainly a badly needed one for Wodonga. Right, we'll have a look at the mark again in a moment, and certainly he tried to put, what do they call it, the checkmate on that one, I think, but banana kick or whatever you like.
Well, I wish you'd have kicked it straight.
2 goals the difference
look at
now.
that
We've
grab.
played
Fantastic
21
grab.
minutes into the last quarter. 2 goals the difference in the O&M Grand Final. And here's the Lavington defence down towards Neville Shaw. He's under pressure from Stevens, and Stevens is able to knock the ball out. He's done a good job for Wodonga.
He has done a top job, Gavin. I agree with you. He's he's concentrated all day and worn Shaw like a glove. And it's to the credit of the young boy that he was brought in just to do that job.
Well, Shaw was one of the better players in the Lavington side, but he has been blanketed brilliantly by Stevens. Now Lamont kicks forward for the Blues. They're waiting as Pevitt, though. Pevitt takes a strong one grab mark, and he'll be looking to put the Bulldogs into attack. There he goes, the left foot kick going towards the outer flank. Flying from behind is Allen, way too early though. Stanlake chases the ball. It might beat him over the line. No, he keeps it in play. Good play, Stanlake. Now it's with Lamont. He gets caught by West. Play on's the call. Hamilton tries to drag it out. Now he does so. Dodges a couple of players. Good play, Hamilton. Now he gets rid of it to Pendergast. Pendergast breaks the tackle. Goes towards the half-forward line for Lavington, and it's a good mark there by Holmes. Holmes will have to get it deep into attack. He's got the lead up the ground from Wilson. Wilson battling to make it. He doesn't quite get there. Now it's Grecian. Grecian from the pocket. Kicks towards goal, but it's smothered. Play on, says the umpire. Lavington slung off the ball as they kick it. I think that was Wilson, and it's gone way out of bounds on the full for a Wodonga penalty kick, almost in the forward pocket.
A lot of pressure out there, boys. There was none of the players out there had time to spit then.
Yeah, I could see Mel Wallace putting his head down. He was quite happy it went out in the full, I think.
Very tired legs out there today. Anyway, it's kicked back in by Wodonga towards the centre of the ground. Players fly. There's no one down though for Wodonga, and it's picked up by Schultz. Schultz, the right foot kick. He's had a serviceable game in towards half forward. Now Lavington's got the chance. No handball. Oh, it's I think that was Grecian. Shaw now. He's caught. Play on. Pevitt has the ball. Still has possession, keeps it in front of him. Good play by Pevitt. It's play on. Now it comes to Killeen. Killeen, the left foot kick towards goal. I think it's smothered off the boot. It's great play by Nichols, but he wasn't paid.
No, it was touched off the boot. It was smothered, as you called it, Nick.
Sorry, it was touched.
And so naturally the mark wasn't paid. So here's a chance for Lavington, badly needing this goal. A 23-minute mark now, so Wodonga, if they can keep them out, are in a good position here to win the grand final. There's Boxer McGree, great football. I know he played a great grand final here as he handballs it out, and a clearing kick again by the Wodonga side. Here's Murphy showing a lot of dash for the big fella.
Gee, they're looking good.
They're looking good, Wodonga now. There's no doubt about that. And Murphy, as you said earlier on, Merv, up to that full forward position has made a big difference. And there's Murphy's big bomb down towards the forward line, getting under it with Stanlake. Here's Burgess again, over his head, has a shot for goal, and don't tell me he's done it. No, it's been touched off the boot, apparently, and 1 point.
Waiting at the full.
It was a pretty good effort, though, wasn't it?
He's always there, Burgess, waiting at the fall of the pack. If Murphy or Allen or someone else can't get it, he's always there waiting to grab the crumbs.
Well, this quarter he's kicked 2 goals too off his own boot.
Well, we better have a look at the scoreboard, and we see that Lavington are 8 goals, 13-61, and Wodonga are 9 goals, 20-73. So that's a 12-point lead to the Wodonga combination. It might go to 74. A bit late putting up the scoreboard there, so it's 13 points in front, Wodonga at this stage. And Burgess again has got the ball, and he's certainly done some great work in this last 15 or 20 minutes for the Wodonga side. They're looking the goods for the Premiership for 1990 as we tick over towards 25 minutes. Yes, just on to time on. So Wodonga looking good at this stage. Here's Burgess now, and he's looking for a pass downfield, and it will come to a good effort, but chipping in was Barr, who's been a very steady player for the Lavington side. Barr, a little chip over here, will come across to Baines. Didn't get much out of that, though. And Baines will come across now for a big kick down towards centre wing. They need goals quickly, Lavington.
Gavin, it'll be a short time on too. There's only been 4 goals kicked this quarter, and those 4 goals have all been kicked by Wodonga. Lavington haven't scored a goal this quarter, so Lavington, when they get possession, have got to start kicking the ball long.
Well, it's Crothers who's taken the mark now on the wing. He's getting plenty of instructions from Burgess, but the big man, he's experienced, he'll know what to do, and he does. He goes long towards half forward for the Bulldogs. Flying from behind was McGuirk. He couldn't take the mark, just kept in play. Now it goes out of bounds, beats Gleeson over the line, and it will be a throw-in at half forward for the Bulldogs. 25.5 minutes gone in this final quarter. Wodonga.
As we see Jeff Grecian, the Wodonga coach, on screen, and he's licking his lips. I think he's tasting a bit of victory, as is chairman selectors Smedley.
Well, Wodonga are looking really good to take out their 5th flag, but that time their kicks are straight. It goes through for a point. Interestingly, Wodonga's won 4 flags and lost 8, so their records in grand finals aren't that aren't that flash, but I guess Lavington's won 2 and lost 4 as well. So
well, I don't think they'll worry about that tonight. I think they'll still celebrate, mate. I'm sure of that. It's been a very good effort by Wodonga to fight their way back into the winning position here, and also the reserves had to come home the hard way as well. So they'll be on fire over at Wodonga tonight. Don't worry about that. A great effort by Wodonga as Lavington looked the goods early in this game.
Gavin, we should also mention too that Myrtleford won the thirds and by 7 points, and a great effort over the young Albury combination.
Right, well, here's another chance for Wodonga as Garvey lines up and his kick is off strain, only a minor score. But Wodonga have got this game well and truly won now. They'll be premiers for 1990 without any doubt.
Just quickly, we had a short shot of Jeff Geeshan there looking pretty nervously at his watch. There he is again. He must know that they've got it won though, Wodonga. They've played exceptionally well, and I think they deserve this 1990 Premiership.
And also David McLeish sitting on there in the coach's box.
Well, I'm sure that Hamilton, the captain coach for Lavington, won't be feeling the same way, but he's got a lot of work to do in the last few minutes. But a free kick has been picked up by Pendergast, who must go close to Lavington's best player. He's picked up a lot of kicks, Pendergast, during this game. He's another good player in Barr. They've tried very, very hard indeed, but time is just about out for Lavington. And there's Barr's kick. It's been touched off the boot. It took too long. Albert's trying to get the ball, can't do so. He's certainly sandwiched, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball. What have we got? 27-19. The clock says here, so there can only be a minute or two left in this Ovens and Murray League Grand Final. And it's 76 plays 61, 15-point lead to Wodonga. They've come from behind to win this premiership for 1990, and what a great effort it has been. Lavington trying very hard as McGuirk gets the ball out, but Pevitt, another player who's come into the game, his kick comes down and should have been marked by McKenna. Took his eyes off the ball. Pendergast gets one around the neck and will take a free kick. Been a top player, Pendergast, Merv.
One of the better players for Lavington. I agree with you, Gavin, and also young Schultz, who's off the ground at the moment. Stan Lake have all played well. Kerry Barr, Colleen, all those players have played their part for their club, but certainly Wodonga have got the run in their legs, and Gleeson is another player who just kicked the ball then, who has really come into his own.
Well, they're into attack again, the Bulldogs. Here's a chance for them to kick their next goal. It's Garvey. He gets it out to Allen. Allen keeps it in front of him. Allen from 10 metres.
That's the ball game.
That's the ball game if it wasn't before. Wodonga go on to 10 goals, 22-82, leading Lavington 8 goals, 13-61, and we've played almost 28.5 minutes in this final quarter. I think it's a Wodonga premiership for sure.
Well, I think the Wodonga supporters and players would be happy to see Bear Allen kick that, probably the winning goal. As there's only minutes left, it was a great effort by Bear Allen to come and take that hand pass. And Wodonga certainly have done a tremendous job since half-time with some very fine football.
An interesting point, Gavin, is that Lavington have only kicked 1 goal after half-time.
Well,
there's
the story, mate. There's no doubt about it. 1 goal after half-time is not good enough to win any game.
There's the ball up. McGuirk taps it over his head. Shaw can't take position. It's play on. McGee now keeps the ball in front of him, but it's picked up by Lavington and handball by Schultz. It's picked up by Pendergast. He's played a great game, but he's had few teammates in that back line. Now it's picked up by Lappin. Lappin sends the long torpedo punt towards half forward. It's a free kick, I think, to Lavington in front there. They might have been pushed in the back, and I think it's Holmes who'll take that free kick at half forward for them.
Merv, Lavington a little unlucky with the injury of Mack. He's certainly only about 50% fit.
I agree. Yes, if Ray, that's a risk you'll take in finals, I guess. And if Ray had been even 95% fit, well, they could have used him at centre half back. But unfortunately, he hasn't been, so they've had to hide him in that pocket.
There's the siren, and the Ovens and Murray premiers for 1990. Wodonga, the Bulldogs, have defeated Lavington, and what a great effort by the Wodonga supporters coming on now. And there's the Wodonga players in celebration.
Well, congratulations, I suppose, to Jeff Geeshan and all his Wodonga players. A fantastic effort. They had to come from behind this afternoon. They did it the hard way. They had to play last week and the week before, and not many people gave them a chance, considering they were behind the 8 ball in the second semi-final, but they did a fantastic job. And I'd like to pay tribute to Butch Greenhill's game, a fantastic exhibition this afternoon, especially after half-time. Also, Bernie Carruthers, the unsung hero of the Wodonga side. I thought he played a great game, playing a kick behind the game. Boxer McGee did his bit too, and also one player who I thought played very well and probably won't get many accolades is young Anthony Nichols. I thought his dashes out the back line were absolutely fantastic. But congratulations to the Wodonga Football Club. They've won the reserves and the seniors here this afternoon, and a fine effort by them. It was a real team effort. They worked very, very hard to get themselves into that position after half-time, and they're deserved winners.
Well, that's it for 1990 season in the Ovens and Murray, but we'll be back after this break to get Gavin and Merv's thoughts on the big game. Well, welcome back here to the Albury Sports Ground with the news that Wodonga are the Ovens and Murray League premiers for season 1990, and Merv, they did it the hard way.
Yeah, well, I had to come from behind, as we said earlier in our commentary, that at half-time they were really dragging the chain. They were about 17 points down and not looking good. Lavington were first to the ball and really wanted to go on with the game. But to Wodonga's credit, after half-time, especially with Burgess and Greenhill, Burgess came onto the ground about halfway through the third quarter, and I believe he was the motivator that got them going. Certainly Greenhill lifted his game, and he was in everything after half-time. And those two players, as I mentioned before, along with Carruthers, who I thought is a bit of an unsung hero at Wodonga. I thought he did a magnificent job, played a kick behind the game. And as I mentioned earlier, young Anthony Nichols, who probably won't get a lot of applauses from the media, but gee, he didn't put a foot wrong all day, and I thought his effort was outstanding as well. For Lavington, well, as Gavin called it, no better player than Pendergast. I thought he tried hard all day. Scholes in the back pocket, I thought he had a real 100% dip. They were unfortunate, of course, to lose a couple of players. Gould got hurt early in the game, and that threw them out of balance a little bit. But Shaw, I thought young Stevens' job on Shaw was a fantastic effort. Shaw with blanket, he walked young Shaw all day, and Shaw, as we know, has been a danger player for Lavington all through the year. And young Stevens Mark Stevens should also be given a rap for the job he did.
Well, Wodonga did exactly the same in the preliminary final to come from behind at half-time. They certainly picked it up a gear and certainly went on with it. Also remembering, Merv, too, that their captain, Ernie Whitehead, was off for the second half of the game, so it was a superb effort by them. Also, Boxer McGee, I thought, was a player that did a lot of fast running in that third quarter. Lavington just ran out of petrol. Their on-ball players just went out of the game, and certainly this stopped them from getting those majors on the board.
You're definitely right, Gavin. Albers, in one particular, we're singing his praises before half-time, but he's one player who looked very, very tired halfway through the last quarter. Kerry Barr was another player who sort of went out of the game, and as I say, they lost a lot of drive from Shaw, who they've been dependent on all the year. And another player who copped a very heavy knock just before half-time was Hamilton, and he didn't have the normal effect that he does have on finals for Lavington. But congratulations to Wodonga, a great team effort. We shouldn't single out too many players. All over it was a great team effort, especially after half-time, where everybody committed themselves to the maroon and white. And as I said earlier, for Lavington to only kick one goal after half-time, it makes life pretty difficult when you're trying to win finals.
The player on screen there just a second ago, Burgess, Merv, had a terrific last quarter too.
Well, I mentioned Burgess. I thought that he was a player that really revitalised him. Not only did he play well himself, but he also brought other players into the game. And I thought that Lavington were probably a little bit laxed in the fact that they didn't pick him up as much as they should have. And he can be a super dangerous player, Burgess, when he's at his best. And it's probably a master move by the Wodonga Brains Trust in Dave McLeish and Smeds and Jeff Gershon to bring him on when they did, because I believe him and Butch Greenhill, as I said before, were the players that really got Wodonga going.
Well, that's it from our delayed telecast here. I'd like to thank Mervyn and Gavin very much for their time indeed, and thank you, of course, for watching our telecast. I hope you enjoyed the 1990 Ovens and Murray League Grand Final. Congratulations.